Have another
Worse than
sandwich and it
murder.
might.
God,
How about just go get another
Popeye's chicken.
sandwich?
Just go get a sandwich.
Just
And both lungs will be knocked out. You'll be on the
Yeah,
floor. It's good.
fuck it.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
gosh.
One ain't working. Squeeze in the other one. It's
I
like
have
a
to do
compartment.
is start a GoFundMe for another lung. How did I lose the first one? Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Fucking Popeyes.
Went
Two
down the wrong way.
GoFundMes though. One for the sandwich, one for the lung. So
Well, yeah, with the increase in prices, I do need 2 campaigns. It's like $12 for the sandwich.
2 lungs in this economy? Come on.
In this economy?
Lucky to get half a lung. It's crazy.
Oh, this is good.
We should be live now, I think. Are we live?
Oh, you know what? We haven't been live for so long that I have nothing pulled up because I forgot.
Did we go live? I think we're live. Hold
I'm
on.
looking.
Glad somebody's being responsible.
We're real professional.
That's not my forte, that's for sure.
Good. You're going to fit in. You're in good company.
Absolutely.
No, I don't think we
I
are
don't
live.
see us live on YouTube.
Just pulling it up. Let's
Okay.
see.
Are we live on Twitch?
I haven't gotten to that website yet.
We're live on Twitch, but not on YouTube. What the hell there, buddy? Come on. Oh, are we private on YouTube? Let me see.
Oh, did you? We might have privated it.
Yeah.
Privatized.
Oops.
Privatize the stream
We
healthcare.
privatized our
What
stream.
happened?
Yeah.
One sec. Let's hear.
Privatize healthcare in this economy?
We're still private. It's okay. Hold on a sec. Can I change it while we're live? Let's see if we can
Well,
do
it's
that.
great because on the Twitch, our windows that would have our faces in it are all the
Oops.
screens. You-
I'm gonna fix that right now. Thanks, Jared.
There you go. There it is.
That's hopefully you didn't steal any passwords or on the screen there.
Good thing that most people don't come to the Twitch stream; they come to the YouTube one. So. Hey, it looks
okay.
like we're live on YouTube, according
There
to
we
my
go.
phone.
Look at that wonderful thumbnail
Ooh.
I made with the help
see.
of Midjourney.
Oh,
Right.
what? Is that what that is? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Okay,
That's
Fresh.
pretty funny.
Thanks. All right.
fresh pics. Why can't I?
I don't know how fresh
shrink
they
this
are.
window? All right, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Ooh,
Turn that
yeah.
video up. Okay.
Ooh.
I don't know.
We're gonna get canceled if you guys keep these accents up. Chard,
That's
guess
Yes,
what?
the Jersey accent is the best accent. So
We got an announcement, Chard. Do you
No.
want to tell people the announcement?
if I had access to the email, I could tell you about it, but I don't have access to the email, so I couldn't tell you about it.
Am I the only one
nice
checking
to
the
know.
email on this fucking show? Sorry, YouTube.
It
that
is
what I'm
because
doing?
I don't have access to the email, Jake.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't know. All right,
The man with the
Jared?
password.
Chard. Well, I can't give a dude password now. That's a whole other problem. For the first time in forever, it feels like.
We're getting
Press
sponsored
B-
by Dr. Pepper. Let's
Okay,
fucking
we are
go.
we
Happy
are getting
New Year.
sponsored, not by Dr. P. They're not. They don't talk to me for some reason. But we did get a sponsor. We got. You want to take a guess what the sponsor is?
What? Popeyes?
Squarespace. Popeyes.
No, Popeye's not going to sponsor me after I trash her sandwich the first 30 seconds of the stream. No, I think we're good. That's fine. Popeye should be. I should be sponsoring Popeyes. That's how bad it's going to be. Because
Wow.
getting slandered on Press B is going to kill your business. That's how it works, right?
Oh yeah, we carry a lot of weight in this digital space.
Just ask folks at Balatro. We gave them that bump. That's how we do things here.
We did the Balatro
No.
bump.
The Balatro bump. No, we are sponsored now. Press B is proud to be sponsored by Amish Furniture Outlet. That's right, Amish Furniture Outlet, your family-friendly source of fine craftsmanship and wooden furniture available nationwide. I think they even have a few in the U.S. chart, if I'm not wrong.
They might.
I'm going to tell you, I just busted my back last night to get this deal signed. I had to give 2 chickens, a cow, and help raise a barn last night. My back is killing me, but I did it. I secured us a sponsorship. So I feel a bit proud. The only thing, Chard, they're Amish. So we got to kind of keep things G-rated, if you know what I mean. So just want to put that warning out there. No swearing.
Wait, is this my last episode then?
We're all going to get canceled. It's so we got to keep things family friendly. At
I
least
need a wicker
while the
gaming
sponsorship
chair.
goes through. You need another
Can I get a
gaming
wicker
chair?
gaming chair?
A wicker? Well, more like a solid pine gaming chair.
Okay.
It probably doesn't swivel. It's probably hard on the back, but it's quality from Amish Furniture Outlet. What's this week's topic, Chard?
Fresh picks. Best tentacle game out there.
Jeez, whose idea was this one, Chard?
Yours.
Regrets today on. Writing that chicken sandwich, I'm telling you right now, holy crap.
Don't chicken sandwich over the intro.
I'm going to be dying here.
Or regret, for that matter.
More regret. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Press B to Cancel your favorite, I was just reminded today, retro podcast. This week, first off, we got a special guest. Second off, we got a new sponsor. And third, we've got a fantastic choice of a topic. I'm pretty proud of myself for picking this one out. And is it an excuse to be a grab bag of games we like? Maybe, but there is a theme. But I'm not doing this alone. I can't do this alone. I'm joined by Chard. How you doing this week, sir?
I have 8 points of excitement for this discussion. That's a tentacle joke, by the way. It's 8 tentacles.
Okay, I just got it. And
Thank
also,
you.
we're joined by a special guest returning to Press B to Cancel, Dave from Remember 64 show. How you doing? First off, congratulations. You just had a baby. And also, double congratulations because you just started podcasting again. I was listening to your last week's episode, which was great with Jiggy. So how you been?
Good. As any new parents will attest to, or just parents in general, I'm exhausted, but all in the right ways and for the right reasons. So no, it's been really great. We had our son back in June, and I slowly, once he decided he wanted to try to sleep somewhat normally, I was like, you know what? I got to get back to this. I thought I was going to get back to it sooner, but took about 6 months before I got behind the mic again. So yeah, it was wishful thinking, but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be able to talk to you guys about this 8-point topic. And yeah, just in general, honestly, just happy to be back behind the mic and talking about games, like just in general, regardless of what show it's on. Not gonna
I
lie.
will say, somebody with 3 kids, the first 10 years are rough, but after that is easy. So you got a decade.
I thought it was
to go.
18.
18 years.
I don't have kids. I just have dogs. But I'll tell you what, my puppies took me away from streaming too. So I can only imagine having a child is just double that. So congratulations, man. That's awesome. And
Thank you. Yeah, it's
back.
been great.
Welcome back to the soundscape.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's great. I'm excited to as he gets older to find these opportunities to share, games and that kind of life with them and stuff, because it was huge for me. Like I was the first person and one of the only people still in my family that like loves games and have played them my whole life and stuff. A couple of my younger cousins are into them and stuff like that, but I was like me and my brother were like the guys that played games, and our friends and stuff. Like we're sort of the first generation to be involved with that. And I'm just so happy that like I can have those opportunities going forward with him too. So it's going to be fun. I hope he likes it, or he's just going to have to deal with it and I'm going to force him to like it. That's,
But Dad, I want to paint. Too bad. Play Mario.
Mario Paint. I have Mario Paint behind me.
There you go.
You can Mario Paint.
Hit the mouse.
Where is it? It? Right there. There it is.
Hit the flies with the fly swatter.
Yeah, Mario Paint. You can make music in Mario Paint and everything. It's educational. It's educational.
You can do some cool shit on there. Get him
Part
started.
of being a parent,
Poison the well soon.
Yeah, part of being a parent is forcing your kids to do everything that you wanted to do at their age. That's just kind of what we do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm bad at building cars. Thank you, Dad.
You know who's not bad at
Should I
building
be
things?
building cars?
Amish Furniture Outlet, Chard, who build only the finest in wooden furniture.
They are bad at building cars because the Amish don't use electricity, if I'm not mistaken. So they probably don't build a lot of cars. They build a lot of buggies. And I bet they're amazing at building buggies.
That's true. All right. So look, bit of a weird topic this week. I'm going to admit, they'll be the first one to admit that, but I think it's a good one. I think this is a topic. This is a category that should have been an award on the Game Awards last year, but Jeff Keighley's too afraid to give the people the topics they deserve, to crown the champion of a genre that just does not get touched very often. And that is the game.
That's not true.
I don't think so. Okay. Maybe they get touched 8 times. I don't know. But the best games that feature tentacles. So we're going to start off with Chard, I'm gonna start with you because you're the most dressed out of all three of us this week in theme. I'm actually pretty surprised you brought a
in
tentacle
theme. Like,
even.
so
Yeah,
let's clarify in theme.
Yes, in theme.
Well,
yes.
Understand my state's hockey team is a Kraken, which we have Kraken paraphernalia, which is all very tentacle based stuff. So I was like, fuck it, put it on tonight. That's perfect. So I represent my team and a pretty interesting topic. So
when they go around the arena, instead of the tomahawk chop, is it like the tentacle slap? Is that what you guys do in the arena?
Yeah. It's just 8 times.
Flailing around? Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't just turn around and smack the person behind you? Like, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. And you say tentacle slap. And you
woo!
A lot of red faces. Don't be in the very back.
Awesome.
So tentacle games. So games with tentacles in them.
Yes.
Right now, I'm going to gush about a game that has quite a few tentacles in it, and it's also got some Cthulhu-esque bingo. If you look at my Cthulhu slippers back there that I have in the background, I'll go grab them here in a minute. I want to talk about a little-known boating game that goes by the name of Dredge. Dredge is it's a fairly recent game. I think it's 3 or 4 years old.
No, last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
So
it's really new.
It was
really.
It was on
I thought it's been around longer.
Yeah, when I put my list together for my favorite games last year, it was like 2 or 3. It was right up there.
Really?
Fantastic.
I love this game. Absolutely. I've played through it 3 times. How about that? In a year and a half.
Game is spectacular. I've
never played it, so you're gonna have to guys are gonna have to sell me on this one because I think Wolf said his brother played this one and loved it, but I've never even I heard of it, but I don't even know what it's about. So you have to break it down for me.
You're in luck. So, game is the premise is basically very cool indie art style. It's almost like paper mache kind of art style look to the game. There's not a lot of solid lines, but it sells it well. You basically wake up in this town. Everybody is terrified except for the mayor is super fucking positive, and he's like, "You had a boat crash. Tell you what, we're gonna sell you one of our shitty boats, and you can use this boat to go fishing for our town, and we'll pay you what you bring back to us." And that's it. And you go fishing and you fish around the town and you go dredging up stuff. But the town has a secret. There's some dark secret that goes on because the mayor tells you do not stay out at night and beware the fog. The fog is a little bit, it's a little fucked up. Well, it turns out, sorry, Amish. Basically, I know there's one strike one. I told you it's my last podcast. I got to go out with flames.
We're gonna lose our new sponsor in the first episode. It's not good.
Perfect. Dr. Pepper, we're still looking for you. Anyways, so you're going around and you're fishing, and then night befalls you, and you see a red light shooting out of the water, and one thing leads to another, and you find a man that's on a mansion in the middle of an aisle, and the guy is looking for some cursed objects, essentially. And as you go through this game, you find that you're looking for some Cthulhu-esque type old style eldritch horror kind of items that are sprawled all over the map, and you go around in your boat to different locations in the aisles and you dredge them up and you pull them out, but there's always some kind of mission you have to do to get them unlocked. For example, which is why there's tentacles in this, there's an entire area that looks like a fucking sarlacc pit out in the basin area, and within the middle of it, you keep count all you want. I hope there's a timer. I hope you edit a timer.
I'm gonna get a call from Jebediah, and he's gonna be really pissed off at us. So that's 3.
Well, tell Ezekiel to shut it because I'm trying to talk about a game. Anyways, sorry, Amish people. We're gonna lose that. We're gonna lose our viewership here in Amish country.
It's okay. They don't have internet anyway.
They go and there's this creature with all these tentacles, and when you float into the middle of the basin, it beats the hell out of your boat and sinks you. So you have to figure out how to calm it down before you can sail over it. And it's quite terrifying because it's enormous. Like it takes up half the screen, and it's all these little like tentacles. And the area is really cool because at nighttime, everything has like a luminescent phosphorescent lighting underneath it, so it's kind of like eerie in a sense. But so one of my favorite tentacle represented games has got to be Dredge, and you have to play this game. It is really cool. You upgrade your boat, you can get faster and better fishing equipment and go out and do like deep sea fishing, and you find treasures and stuff, and there's all these different side quests and secrets and all these things that you can find out there, and it's actually terrifying because when it gets dark, you really don't see much in front of you. The fog rolls in and you get anxiety every time one of the colored swirls kind of attaches itself to you. There's an eyeball up in the upper corner during nighttime that'll start looking around. And if that thing starts flashing all kinds of colors and looking around very like sporadically, weird shit happens to your boat. Like a giant angler fish will come and bite your boat. Things will attach itself to your fish that you're trying to sell and poison it. There's a whole bunch of different shit. I have not finished this game yet. I'm on like the last mission. There's 2 DLCs that you can do for this game too that came out recently that I'd love to get my hands on. Yeah.
They're good.
But
They're
man,
this
this is a great. I'm going to go to bed. I need something to kind of just chill and mess around with.
Hold on.
Yesterday night, my wife was driving the boat with one stick and I was propelling it with the other, just because we were playing it together, because we were just fucking whatever. And it was fun. She was out. I was like, go that way, and she'd steer it, and it's just fun. It's not mindless. It's got a great story, but you can just go fish and just be at peace and chill. It's a great game, and it's like I think it's like $20 on Steam. I got it on GOG for free because they released it for free over there.
Oh,
absolutely
nice.
Worth every last penny. I almost bought this again because I was having trouble running it on my Steam Deck, but eventually I updated all the stuff. It works spectacular on the Steam Deck. It's a great game to just sit and play. So Jake, when you're sitting at home and you get an MP from us and you're like, guys, I don't know what to play. I need to play something mindless. I always want to suggest Dredge to you because it is perfect to just, and it's not long.
You said casual chill game, but then you also said this game was terrifying.
It is terrifying, but it's not. It's not like Dead Space. It's not like
the
scary
I wouldn't
games
say
I
it's
play.
terrifying. I think it has
good anxiety,
like thriller type thing, but it's mostly like the setting, not even necessarily what happens to you. They do a really good job of creating like a dark atmosphere. The sound is really good if you're playing with headphones and stuff. Like there's little things like that. Like sometimes when you have like that high anxiety, for example, or it's dark and you don't have like good lights to see further and stuff. Sometimes you'll hear things and think something's coming after you, but it's just your character thinking something's there. And you're sort of going faster, and maybe you're burning too much fuel or you're whatever. And then you look behind you and go, oh, there was actually nothing there. It's just there's little small touches like that are really cool. I think
I love the
map is like the eyeball.
The eyes start popping up in the water, like flashing when you're because it's just your anxiety playing tricks on you. And there's a point to where like if you shine your light in certain areas, a rock will appear out of the water, like just an invisible rock will show up and you can run into it. So you're just trying to get back to a wharf so you can sleep, because when you get into a bay, you sleep it off and then you're fine the next day. But there's a lot of really cool nuancy stuff to it.
And there's advantages to going out at night because there's only certain fish that come out at night, and there's only certain interactions you can do. So you do have to sort of push that limit every once in a while. So it's like, oh, do I push it? Do I go? And then you are rewarded with it if you like quote unquote survive and everything. So I think like that balance that they have is great. And I don't know. I love this game from the beginning, and I've literally played through the main thing 3 times. And I played the DLCs, I think a year ago or earlier. Wow. Yeah, roughly a year ago, maybe in the summer. I played in the spring last year, whenever they first came out, and they were great. They're awesome. The new areas, and new fish and new like quest things you got to do, and it's great. I love this game.
Is it a roguelike? Like, sorry if I missed at the beginning.
No,
is it like a random map, or is it a fixed map?
It's a fixed map. It's not generated. It's not procedural. It's basically it's almost like a 5-point star map. There's stuff up in the corners and stuff on the bottom, stuff in the middle, and like one thing at the top or whatever.
And it's a good size too. Like if it's like, oh my god, I got to go all the way to the other end of the map to go deliver this thing or find this other area. It's only going to take you a few minutes. Like it really is. They do a really good job of doing that too. So you might be going from A, B, and C in like one, day cycle or whatever. But it's going to take you like 10 or 15 minutes to get that stuff done. Like it really doesn't waste your time. There's always, even if it's small, there's always something to do.
And if you don't want to stop to fish, there are options to get a net so you can troll. So you can just drive around and grab fish while you're moving around. You can.
That sounds illegal, Charlie. I don't know about that one.
Well, in these waters, these waters,
lawless waters.
That's true. Yeah. But there's a really cool and interesting story that goes along with the game and it doesn't take a lot to like, you don't drift out of it. It's very much part of the storyline, and it plays really, really well. I
Yeah.
recommend this game to anybody who's like, I need a roguelike to play, or not a roguelike. Sorry, I just need an indie game. There's something just to kind of kill some time. Totally worth it. It's so good.
Yeah, the way you described it, I thought it was a roguelike or procedural, but if it's a fixed story, I might actually be in for it right now. Like I like roguelikes as well, but I kind of just want the story, I think, and just the relaxed type of the game. But I'm just thinking, Dave, you said you beat it 3 times, so I'm trying to figure out where the replay value is in it. Is there stuff that you missed?
I like the cycle of the game. I don't know.
There's side missions you can miss too. There's people that you find on other islands that you can talk to that have you go out and do stuff. I'm probably not going to do everything on this playthrough. I just want to kind of see where it goes. But I would definitely come back. There's definitely a replay value for this because this is like Grand Theft Auto for fishing. I could just get in there and go fishing for hours and see what I find out there. You get a whole encyclopedia and you can unlock every fish that you find out there. And there's some cool, like there are
creative stuff.
Yeah, there's abnormality fish that you find that are possessed by shit. And when you pull those out of the water at night or like dusk or early morning, they got some really cool designs for the fish that you can.
One of my favorite parts of this game too is like very specific to those moments, like when you pull them out of the water. Like, part of the sort of way to sell people on like loot boxes is like, oh, the sound and the light, and oh my god, it gets your senses going. In this, you pull up like a fish that's kind of weird, and it plays this chime that feels like you won something, but is also kind of creepy. And I was just like, oh, I love that little like subtle touch that they have in the sound design, and like that's enough for me. It's like little things.
I like the excerpts that they write about the fish, like what's wrong with it and what it looks like and stuff.
They all have their own background where they may have come from and whatever.
It's really neat. Like it's and it's not like creative. It's like a sentence or two of like you know, the bones are on the outside of this fish and it uses it as some kind of protection while there's a black ooze leaking out of its pores. You're like, wow, this is fucking cool. What is this thing?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised? Char likes the game where the lore is on the fish. It's not in the game. It's imprinted on the animals. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
That's wild. Yeah, I should check this one out. It doesn't look like it's expensive, and I kind of feel bad. I missed out on the GOG sale when it was free. I saw it, and I'm like, I'll pass. I don't want to put GOG on my Steam Deck, but I really probably should have jumped on that one.
Get that hero fucking launcher, dude. Done and done.
Yeah,
I gotta set that up again. That's okay. What's this one rated though, Chard? This looks like a 18+ game. Really?
No.
I mean.
Not that I've seen.
We got a new sponsor, Chard. I kind of said top of the show.
There's a lot of tentacles,
show.
Man.
I know, but it's
people think certain ways. I don't.
Off-brand with this episode. It's kind of disappointing. It's okay.
I'm off-brand. If you want an Amish sponsorship,
yeah.
Look at all the electricity I have in my room. I've got more neon lights than Vegas. Let's go.
Okay. Ezekiel can't watch this. He has no electricity himself, but he'll get a postcard halfway through the episode.
He's getting a transcript of the whole thing.
He's getting a transcript, a telegram. Yeah.
Telegram.
All right. Well, look, you know what?
I got a pigeon I can attach a letter to if you want.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. A flying fish. It's all right. You know what? Let me go next. I'll set the family-friendly tone that I was originally looking for, and Dave can go with his round afterwards. I tell you, like, we just have one thing to do, just one episode to be, family friendly. We can't even do it. That's okay. My pick actually is not out yet. It comes out in February. Like fucking oops. Sorry, Jebediah. Sorry.
Wow.
My pick comes out in February.
Calling kettles black around here, bud.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get whacked over the cart and buggy for that one. Look, my game comes out next month. But I got access to it early. I got a sneak peek at this game. It's a demo, if you will. And my game is Tentacles Party with Nuns. Now, my game is very tentacle focused, as I explain it. And let me just read you the description. In this peerless ancient cathedral, unravel the mysteries and curses within protagonists and embrace a new future. It's a coming-of-age story, Chard. Get it? No?
Yes.
No?
It's like
okay.
It's like Rochelle from Seinfeld.
No, I don't want you thinking this is a naughty game. That would be like off-brand for me. I would never do that. But let me show you a clip from this game, just for those watching at home or on the YouTube. It's important that we show the games off. Here we go.
Why do we have production
hold
meetings
on.
if you're not going to talk to me about what the hell you're going to show?
Looks like I didn't pay the cable bill this month. Looks like it's a little,
this
the
guy
channel's
again.
scrambled. But is that a nipple? God, I hope not. Maybe that's just an elbow. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. Okay. Well,
This brings me back to Skinamax.
you're gonna have to take my word for it that it's a family friendly game. It's Tentacles Party with Nuns, available on Steam, which is actually a real game. You should all check it out. It's got DLC, including, I'm gonna turn off the channel. It's including one for ASMR. You know how family friendly ASMR content can get over on Steam. Everybody should check that one out. Dave, how about you guess your pick next? What is your tentacle themed game?
Now I am actually going to go family friendly, I would say. It's just
Good.
Yeah.
Please put us back on the rails.
It's not focused around tentacles, but there is one particular character, and of course I have to bring the Nintendo 64 to the show. It is Bubbler from Diddy Kong Racing, which is one of the boss races that you do, and it's just a giant squid / octopus that you just go in a circle around with the hover vehicle and try and win the race. And I just one of the reasons why this is like the first thing that came to mind is because I just think, first of all, this is the best kart racer ever. It just is. And this is one of the reasons why is because it has like boss fights, boss races. It has a story. It has a single player mode. You don't just pick a track and do 3 or 4 laps and that's it. You have to actually like use your skills, and you race these characters twice. The second time you pretty much have to race perfectly on all of them, not just this character. Otherwise,
this
you
game
gotta
is hard as
restart,
fuck.
you gotta do it again. It is so freaking hard. Dang found it. It is difficult. And these
at
these
least
bot
the guest got the memo.
I got the memo.
He got the
He
memo.
read the assignment.
I read the TPS report. So
yeah, thank you.
It's and I think that like touches like this is stuff that you don't get enough in racing games or in kart racers more specifically. And then at this time too. And I don't know. I just love this game. Love the way it controls. It is superior to Mario Kart 64. Anyone can argue with me on that all day. You are wrong. I'm sorry, but not really. And you know, the character has like a voice, like it sort of sounds like he's underwater when he's talking, and like stupid little things like that. I love it. I love this game. It's just a good excuse to talk about it. And literally was the second game that came to mind. I can mention my first one later if it's not going to be mentioned, but this was the second one that came to mind, and I was like, I got to talk about this game. Got to talk about it and tell everybody that it's better than Mario Kart. That's all.
When you mentioned this one, I thought it was it's funny you mentioned that because Rolling Stones just released a top 50 games of all time list, and they had Mario Kart 64 on there, but no other entries. And the first thing I said is like, if you're gonna go with the N64, Diddy Kong is way better than Mario 64.
Right.
And if you're going to go with Mario Kart, maybe pick any of the other ones because it's like the worst one.
Like 8 Deluxe is freaking amazing. It's fantastic. If you're going to go for Mario Kart,
the original one's better than 64.
Yeah,
come on,
huge.
Yeah,
but when it comes to N64, Diddy Kong is definitely tops. It was Rare who made that one, right?
Yes, it's Rare. Yeah,
because I was listening because you just did an episode on with Jiggy on your podcast. Remember 64? You just did one on was it Mickey Speedway?
Mickey's Speedway USA, which is also Rare. I never played it back in the day, and it's not bad. It's not this. It doesn't have the same sort of like single player thing. The multiplayer's kind of the same. It's a kart racer or whatever. It's not bad, but it's Rare, so it's made well. It's balanced. It feels like the maps are cool, like creative and stuff, and it's Mickey characters, it's Disney characters, so it's kind of cool. But if it's Rare and it's the N64, you got to at least try it. Doesn't matter which game it is, honestly, because
Rare had a really strong grip on the N64 during its time.
They owned it, man. Like they were that console for a lot of people, like me included at that time. I was too young to be like, ooh, I'm gonna dabble in this and this and this. It was like, no, it's Mario Party, it's Diddy Kong Racing, and it's and GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie. Like that's what I had.
Yeah.
Right. And
GoldenEye was Rare too. I forgot GoldenEye was Rare. Really? Wow.
Yeah. Perfect Dark. Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64. Like they got
Alright.
all the franchises on the N64 from 007 to Donkey Kong to Mickey, right? Diddy
They
Kong.
should
Like
have
they
just
had
called it the
all of
Rare
them.
Machine.
Well, that's
Jesus.
how wild it is now that they're
it
not
is.
even with Nintendo anymore, right? They're their own thing now. They're more on Microsoft than they are Nintendo, and that's wild to think about when how close a relationship they had with Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
exactly. So it's
crazy.
Diddy Kong Racing. Everybody play it. It's better than Mario Kart. That's all.
I had to take the video down because I only had a 3-minute clip of that boss fight because this guy's a pro gamer. Because when I tried the bosses in Diddy Kong, I knocked my head against the wall for half an hour. They're hard.
That's
I
why
found
we have
all the
hour-long
bosses super
episodes.
hard.
They are hard. They are hard. Yeah.
All our episodes are an hour long because Jake takes too long to beat his games.
Well, look, I did beat Elden Ring, so I think I've improved my gaming skills over the last year.
Ooh.
And we also do it for Sinistar, so we can play 8-2 over and over again.
I mean, hell, I beat 8-2 just on my lunch break today, so it's, I don't understand.
I was just saying, I beat 8-2 when we were starting this podcast up, so I was getting my jersey
with a tentacle hand, no less. It was fine. It's easy.
Everything, yeah.
Have you beaten Diddy Kong Racing?
8 hands behind my back.
Huh? Have you guys beaten Diddy Kong Racing? I'm just curious if there's actually an ending to it or no.
Yep.
No, I have not played.
I beat it. But back in the day, I beat it. I mean, replaying it for the show, replaying it just for fun or whatever. I hadn't because it was like it does, like those boss races, like especially when you race against like the big bad, the whiz pig guy, like no mistakes. You need to, like they talk about pattern recognition for Souls-like games or whatever, things like that. Like it is perfection. Otherwise, you can't even beat most of those races. So I just didn't have the time or probably the skill anymore to do it. But back in the day, I beat it a couple times because I always played this game. Always.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
I love a good kart racer. I'm always excited to see what they're going to come out with. The rumors right now for the Switch 2 is that there's possibly Mario Kart 9 coming out this year or early next year. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with the Mario Kart 9 when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has got, I don't know what, 50 tracks or something insane. It's nuts how big that game is. But I always kind of want them to go back and do another Diddy Kong Racing with have other Nintendo franchises in a kart racing game. I think that would be something would be neat to do. So I keep thinking maybe they'll do this again. Just it wouldn't be rare, I guess.
It would be, it'd be, I mean, the people that made these games are not really at Rare anymore anyways. Like it's a different studio. They're the Sea of Thieves studio at this point. So, and that's fine because that game's huge. People love it. Like that's all they do. And that's all they need to do. And they're, owned by Microsoft and it is what it is. Right. But the vast majority of the people that made games like this are either not in the industry anymore or they're doing something way different. So, I don't know. Good kart racer is always fun. And this has always been my favorite. And goofy boss, quote unquote, battles. I like it.
Yeah, so we just won't talk about the vaguely racist elephant that's in this game. Me and Wolf dumped all over him a few times before.
Yeah.
It was a game from a different time, but it's a solid game. It's just hard.
Nice.
Yeah, good pick. I guess, Chard, you want to do your second pick?
Sure.
I mean, I've already done mine to show you how family-friendly the picks can be, so I'd appreciate if you tone it down and not do an R-rated game this pick. Just heads up.
Anyways, okay. So my next pick. My next pick is another kind of indie game that's got it's kind of a retro style inspired kind of game, and it's called Carrion. I don't know how you pronounce it in Canada. I just
with a U.
sure with my Carrion.
It's Carrion A. That's
Carrion A. Carrion A. Carrion bud.
I'm gonna bring out the bagged milk icon again just for you, Chard.
Let's go.
Do you have bagged milk in the house? You have a few kids. You must have bagged milk, right?
My one daughter, my one kid, will go through a whole 3 pouch bag of milk in a day if we let her. Yeah, 3 liters and change. She is ridiculous.
I was like that when I was a kid too. Yeah, I was like that.
Bowls of cereal for days. Yeah.
Yep.
So, bagged milk is a game where you are you're a creature. You are a monster. You're essentially a monster, but you're a little blob of a monster with tentacles shooting all over it. And the concept of the game is that you are trying to escape a secret creature detention center, essentially, where you are being experimented on and nothing can get in your way. So you are several different legs of fury and destruction and all kinds of crap. You can
It's kind of
Yeah,
gory,
you
Shard.
basically it's very gory. You eat people to gain health and gain your life back, and as you're going, you find basically nuclear reactors in this place, and every time you find one, you get a new power out of it. And the more people you eat, the bigger and stronger you become, and a lot more scarier you become. It's basically just a blob with sharp teeth, tentacles, and circular mouths. This game is so much fun to play if you're just in for some rock and destruction and chaos. This is the game to be, and it's pretty difficult because there's some hard enemies that like to put you down here and there, but you get some kind of sonar. You could sneak around some things. It's got a little bit of some like you know, stealth style questing that you can do. Um, but it's a puzzler where you're trying to find a path to get out of this different location, and there's a story that goes along to it as with it as well. um I think I sat down to see how this game played when I had it for a while,
Right.
and I ended up playing it for 4 hours, and I couldn't stop playing it because it was so much fun and so addictive to play that I would recommend this to anybody. It's like I said, it's in that pixely retro pixel style artwork style, so it's got that little retro talk to my heart. It's smooth, so it's like the 60K frames with the whole thing, and
Yeah.
it is just freaking amazing. It is so much fun to play. It is so wicked, and just being able to eat all the scientists that you feel vindicated because you're the creature that they've been testing on, and you have broken free, and now you're just going to kill everybody that's messed with you. But you're also finding out a story about the creature of what you were before you became this, and it's pretty interesting. I still have a theory because I haven't finished it, but my
When did you play this
my
one?
theory stands. That's going to be wild, huh?
When did you play this game? I hadn't even heard of it
I
before.
played this game probably a year and a half ago. It's been a while
Oh,
since I fired it back up, but I specifically remember going, I have to go back to that game because it was a
yeah.
lot of fun. This could definitely be a Sisyphean type game because I don't believe it's going to be super long like all the other ones that we kind of pick. Um, but I might stream it at some point because it is a lot of fun. And again, it's a puzzler, so you die, you
S-
repeat, you go back and try and do it again, and stuff
So
like
it's
that.
not a
So
Metroidvania then?
it's kind of a Metroidvania, yeah, because you get powers and abilities that allow you to access different parts of the map that you couldn't access before. So
Okay.
that
Y-
very much has a
Yeah.
Metroidvanian feel to it, for sure.
I
I
dig the
remember when
artwork
this came
for sure.
out. Let's see, what does it say? I looked up. It says 2020 it came out, so it's not that old.
Okay.
Yeah.
That it was getting like pretty strong reviews and stuff too. I was like, oh, I gotta try this. I gotta try this, and I never got around to it. And then I just looked it up when I just searched it now. Looks like it is or is about to come to Game Pass. So if
Okay.
Oh,
that's something
okay.
that people have, it's another way to get it too. So, but
Absolutely worth it. It's cool.
it has always piqued my interest. I never played it. That's awesome.
Yeah. I need to see if I can get it on the Steam Deck because I bet this. I don't know how it would play because it's very mouse oriented. Like that crosshair that you see is kind of
Yeah.
you click and move the
Yep.
creature with the mouse. So I don't know
But the
how it
Steam
would
Deck
play with.
mouse pads are really, really well designed, and I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like I've done some twin stick shooters on the Steam Deck, and it feels like this would be similar. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
It would
It's
definitely
a
run
lot of
well.
fun.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Merv has played it in the past, so one of our viewers that was pretty talking high on it, and it's just wicked. It's wicked fun. I think it's a really cool concept and a really great idea. So um would highly recommend playing this and checking this one out. And there's a ton of tentacles. You are nothing but a massive bloody tentacles of teeth
It's yeah. It's the most tentacle
and
that we
eyeballs.
have talked about so far, I would say.
It is. It is
Yeah.
it is very tentacly centric.
Yeah.
Oh, hi
um
Ezekiel. Oh,
He can't call you. They can't
oh.
call. He's breaking his rules.
Look, sometimes Amish got to break the rules, But Chard, he's kind of pissed off at you. I'm sorry.
Good.
Look, it won't happen again. Next week we'll
Yeah, it
do.
will. It absolutely will.
Oh, okay.
he can't hear you.
Okay.
He can't hear you.
Jake's gonna go clean some buggies for my potty mouth.
We officially got canceled. I hope you're happy with your
Good. I
tentacle
am. I'm
adult pick.
ecstatic.
Basically a porn game, but that's okay. It looks really good. The graphics are really awesome. I do
It's
like
a
the
fun
sprite
game.
work. Yeah.
Really cool, like lighting too. I love when they have like
Yeah.
the sort of pixelated retro feel, but then the lighting is just, much more modern sort of. I love
Mhm.
that touch.
Yeah.
I love when games do that. Yeah.
It's great look, great feel, and it's super smooth. It plays so smooth, and it's just kind of fun. You can pick up like you saw him picking up boxes and ripping off gates and stuff. It just
Yeah.
remember, guys, I like to play games that make me feel like a badass, and the further you get in that game, you feel pretty damn cool. Like you really pretty rocking. So definitely
That's
going to be
awesome.
something that I need to add to my list of things to play again because it's pretty badass.
As made a cracking, you're saying, "Oh, this is probably another chill, relaxing game for Chard," but then you're devouring the bodies of scientists as they run away and scream.
They do scream. It's pretty fun.
You're definitely a horror fan.
They do scream when they're
They do
running from
scream.
you and you're eating them. They're like, ah!
It's the best.
It is the best. It's a great
God,
time.
Torture is awesome.
I love it.
God. Well, I mean, this is
You're
tame compared to some of the
avenging
other games I've
yourself.
seen
You've
you
been
play.
trapped. You're a trapped creature, and you are avenging yourself.
Sure.
Get
It's just
avenged.
nature is healing. I get it.
It's
Kind of
nature's
abhorrent
healing.
nature.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one. I actually never even heard that one until you showed it. This is actually a really good pick. This is why the Tentacle episode is a good idea. This is why it should be at the Game Awards. There's so many games that get looked over. I mean, there's no tentacles in Black Myth Wukong. There's no tentacles in
That I know of.
whatever the one.
I don't know.
You haven't beaten it yet? Come on now. It's been a week.
Wow.
I don't know.
Does Astrobot have
I'm
tentacles?
sorry.
It
I have a
might.
full-time job. I'm busy.
It's a Souls like. You're usually done those in like what, a day?
Some of us work for a living. Damn it.
Yeah, I'll get
boy.
it done on Sunday. Don't worry.
Boy, I'm out here busting my ass, raising barns, selling chickens to get a sponsorship deal just tossed away in the trash. All right. Sorry, Carrion. Okay. All right, I guess I should do a serious pick. Let me do one. Now that we lost our sponsorship, I can go with my family-friendly pick that I had before. I'm going with Ship of Fools. Now, this is a game that came out. First off, have you guys played Ship of Fools? I don't know if you guys did not.
No.
I haven't,
No?
and I have not had the opportunity to fire it up. But Wolf talks about this game
Yes.
a lot, and he loves this game. And I really, really need to get my ass in there and start
Yeah.
playing it.
And that's why I started playing it. He told me he was playing it with his kid, and I was looking for like a co-op game to play with my daughter. We usually play Nidhogg, which is this fencing game, but she's starting to get good, so I needed something that was co-op for my gamer cred. So we started playing Ship of Fools, and it's a roguelike, which I'm hit or miss on, I guess, but Wolf swore by it, so I gave it a shot. For those who've not played it, you have a ship, hence the name Ship of Fools, and there's a very interesting cast of weird, I'm not going to say Cthulhu characters, but definitely weird monster-esque characters like frogs and bugs and whatnot. But the roguelike comes into that you go out of your ship out into the ocean, and it's procedurally generated map of hexagons, and each one may have certain things. Like you'll find treasure chests, which will have loot, hidden stores, hidden challenges, warps, that kind of thing. So every hex is a little bit different, and it changes every time you go out there. The tentacle aspect comes in the first boss. I would love to tell you about the rest of the game. I've been playing this game for a year. My daughter and I have yet to beat the first freaking boss.
Wow, what?
It's a tough ass game.
It's a tough game.
And
that was one of the things that I didn't think I was going to get very far on it by myself, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and play with anybody on it. So that's one of the reasons that I was like, I don't know. I got a lot of hard games on my plate. I don't know if I need any more games.
Right.
Right.
And it definitely doesn't present itself that way, right? Like that's the thing.
Right.
It's very deceiving. I love the look of it though. Oh my god.
It is a
Yeah,
difficult game. Like I can't imagine playing this by myself. It's definitely a game that's better with one or more people. I guess it's only a 2-player game possibly, but it's definitely better with more than one person. In that the way the game is, the ship is set up. And in some ways it reminds me of Sea of Thieves, where on Sea of Thieves you could maybe play a ship by yourself, but it's always more fun with friends. Because you all have things you can do on the ship.
And you can
right?
do more with it too. Yeah.
So in Ship of Fools, there's a heavy duty focus on the shooting of the cannons to kill the enemies, but you have to reload them, and it's mostly manual. And some of the maps, the ship will move up or down on the map, in which case sometimes you have to move the cannons. You pick up the cannons and bring them to the other side of the ship. And that's where it gets frantic. As you're moving cannons to the optimal spot, you're shooting them, you're reloading them, you're grabbing everything that moves. And if something shoots and you miss, it lays eggs on the ship, and then suddenly you have things spawning on the ship. So you have to go over there with a shovel, and you got to whack the crap out of them to kill them. And if you don't, they start to eat your ship and deal damage to your ship. It's a pretty difficult, punishing game. As you go through the run, if you're lucky, you'll pick up coins, and you can use them to buy like planks to fix your ship. You can sometimes get shrines or like idols to put on your ship, but they all take valuable space, like slots on your boat. But some of them are like, there's one, it's a bird that lays eggs. What do you do with eggs? Load them in your cannon, of course, and you shoot the eggs, right? Another one is like it's like stuff like that. My daughter is like obsessed with, before we leave town, She has to go to the beach in town, whack a seagull, pick it up, and shove it in a cannon because you get a couple shots of seagull. the first couple encounters, she loves doing that.
And then you pull up this game and you try and get your ship.
Right. And then we go home and we play Ship of Fools.
And then you play Ship of Fools.
And that's why we're not allowed at the park anymore, and we're banned. That's okay. But it does get easier the more you play. Family friendly. That's true. Yeah, get arrested together. The family gets arrested together.
Life lessons.
Fun together.
Life lessons. Ship of Fools.
That's how we learn. Yeah.
Animal
now
abuse
we drink bagged milk.
Brings the family closer.
And now we drink bagged milk all the time, exclusively.
That's how we do it. No more chocolate milk for us. No, so it does start off super hard, and the roguelike elements are that if you die, you go back to the beginning, everything is reset. There is a currency you pick up. The further you go, the better you do. You get a certain currency you can use on permanent upgrades for your ship. Things like more shields, more stat points, more slots for cannons. You can upgrade your cannons. I believe there's 4 or 5 different cannons. One will actually shoot on its own, which is great when you're playing by yourself, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage and doesn't shoot nearly as fast, but it does shoot on its own. Another one, you only load it once, and it's big shots of damage. So there's that one as well. So there's different items that you can unlock as you play. And again, there's 4 different, I don't know if it's separate maps or biomes, but there's definitely 4 different bosses. But you get to the end of the map on the first stage, which again we have not beaten, and it's neat. It's cool in that tentacles rise up from the water, hence the theme of the episode, and they basically circle your ship, and they'll start coming in and rushing to smack at your ship, and you have a short window to kind of rush over there and smack it with your shovel. So it's that frantic thing of you want to shoot the tentacles as they circle around your boat, but then you also want to whack the ones that are going to hit you first. And then as you survive, and it really does feel like you need to survive. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is it? Here it is. As you're trying to survive, the map pans up, and then a maw comes out of the water, and then you got to start shooting the maw to deal damage to it, and it gets pretty wild. Maybe I can't find the boss fight, but anyway, it's a really cool boss fight, and the atmosphere is really rad, and the music changes, the tone of the map is really cool, and it feels like a deadly encounter.
Nice. This game reminds, based on your description and just looking at it. So looking at it, it looks like a game that Clay has made, Clay Entertainment, which are the guys that do Don't Starve and Grifflands and Rotwood and Mark of the Ninja, one of my favorite indies ever. Sort of has that really cool cartoony art style. And then some of the like mechanics that you're talking about reminds me of FTL, if you guys have played that.
Okay.
Oh, I love FTL. Yes.
Yeah, where you have a ship and you can play it. I think you can play with other people, but it's like all these different components in your ship, and someone attacks you, or you're doing a fight, and like it's, you know, you have to sort of run around and sort of repair things and manage your weapons and your shields and whatever and all that kind of stuff. And it feels like it has like a similar type of idea, which I love. And that game's also very difficult, but it's also a lot of fun too. So oh shit, look at those tentacles.
Yeah, it is
on brand. Wasn't kidding. And it's frantic. It's definitely
That's
frantic,
awesome.
and it's very difficult. It's great when you're playing with somebody on the couch together, whether it's a kid or with your spouse. It's definitely a fun game. I wish you listened to Wolf earlier and tried it sooner, because it is a great game. I think when he first recommended it, I was kind of knee deep into Hades. I didn't want another roguelike, so I kind of put it off for a while. But now that I'm kind of done with Hades, I wouldn't mind putting more time into this one. I would love to get past the first freaking boss. I would actually like to be good at this game and see what other unlocks there are.
That's the problem with roguelites. I'm the same way with Enter the Gungeon, man. I want to be so fucking good at that game, and I am so bad at that game. Yeah. And for a while, I was getting there, but I can only get to like the 3rd level. Beyond that, I couldn't get any goddamn further. It was so
that's a tough game. It's fun, but it's tough. Yeah. I love me some roguelikes. Love it.
It's a good genre. And again, it runs on the Steam Deck. That's how we play it. Not the greatest at performance, which is kind of odd because of the art style. You think it would run better than it does, but it does run okay. But it's definitely one to pick up. And it's like $20, I think, normally. I think it's $8 right now on Steam. It's on sale. So if you don't have Ship of Fools, totally worth picking up, especially if you're going to play it with somebody else. I wouldn't play it alone. Bring somebody to play it with you is the way to go.
Right.
Anyway.
The artwork in this is very reminiscent of Ren and Stimpy. And I like it.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I
definitely
see.
Yeah. A little less rough, but also very It's like very
shaky. It's like it's got that shaky smoothness to it. Like if that makes any sense. It looks very, very Ren and Stimpy. It's like the Tenacious D video for
Yeah.
The lovemaking one that I won't
Yeah.
I need a call from the Amish again, Chard. We keep going down this path. It's just not going to work.
They already canceled us, so who cares?
Yeah, it's all right. That's true. Back to Beaver Buzz we go, I guess. All right, Dave, you're up. What's your next pick?
I mean, technically I have two, but I think I'm going to go with the one that I thought of immediately when you said this, when you first told me. And it's going back over 30 years now. I'm trying to find the exact date of when it was first released.
I love how our guest is the one that brings the retro picks to the retro podcast.
I did my homework. It's just top of mind. Day of the Tentacle, which was one of the first, probably one of the first games I ever played. I wouldn't be surprised, if it was out in 93.
The one I suggested for the episode, Jake.
But then you didn't pick it.
Because I felt
bad that we didn't pick it.
I was giving you a gimme. You had one. I gave you a gimme.
Jake, I can give you my other one if you want.
No, it's okay. I already have a Tentacle Party with nuns. That was my other pick. I'm done.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah, you've done your work. Yeah.
I've never played this one, so you have to explain it to us.
It's a point and click adventure from the early 90s on PC. That's what it is. And the Tentacles are, I think there's one, from what I remember, the way the story goes, it's been so long since I played this, even though I bought the remaster when it came out like 10 years ago and never touched it because I was like, I love this game, and then just didn't play it because of course. So technically it's a sequel to Maniac Mansion, which was made I think the year before, 2 years before or something. Very cartoony art style, goofy looking characters. It's all fully voice acted, which is awesome. At the time, that was just like such a huge deal too. And you're trying to save the world, or you're trying to save your friends when there's like an evil tentacle that's trying to take things over with like an army of other alien tentacles with like a laser gun. It's just, does it make sense? No, it's just a cartoony, weird setting and an excuse for you to have a point and click adventure to find a key to open this thing and talk to this person in order to get to the next area of the mansion, or to get to the next area of the property you're on, or go in the sewers. It's so hilarious. It's a point and click cartoon comedy. That's what it is, and has that sort of like more old school style to the point and click stuff, where it's very like, okay, you have to click here to walk 2 steps. You have to click on that person and talk to them. You have to grab that thing out of your inventory with the bar that's at the bottom of the screen. Like, it's very step by step thing. You don't have to type your actions in, which you would have to do in games before this, but it's close. It's close. It's just, if you don't have a mouse, it's going to be hard to play, essentially. And it's just one of those like really old school games. And I just vividly remember playing this at a friend's place. His older brother, who's 3, maybe 4 years older, got this and was like, you guys got to play this. It's hilarious. And we just sort of like sat there and figured things out together. So I have that sort of like nostalgic feel of like 4 of us sitting around this computer that barely ran this game at the time, trying to figure out what we have to find, where it is, and just sort of go through this goofy adventure. Day of the Tentacle is like, it's a classic. If you haven't played it, I'll look up to see just like exactly how long it actually is, like estimated, but I'm sure it's not crazy long, and it would be worth.
I mean, these kind of games, once you know the route, it's usually not too bad to kind of go through them. And they're also like, these are the guys who did Secret of Monkey Island, I think, right? It's the same LucasArts.
Yep.
And their games are always different. I was gonna say their games are different than CR, because CR games are the ones I grew up with, and those ones are always difficult and a lot of trial and die. When I played through Secret of Monkey Island, it was more humor, more of the experience, less of challenge. And I think Day of the Tentacle is similar.
That's what this is too.
It's the story, it's the journey, and it's kind of a fun experience. I always wanted to play it. I loved Maniac Mansion. I don't know why I never tried this one out.
Oh, this is a vast improvement. It's so much easier, especially nowadays. Way easier to play. Way easier, because you could just, all you have to do is sit there with your mouse, and it's just literally as point and click as you could possibly get.
This is definitely a Sinistar-esque type game. Like I've heard him.
Yeah. This would be his pick if he was here. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a great pick. This is the first game I thought of too when Jake even brought this up. I was like, this has got to be like, this is made for this episode. We might as well just do a whole episode on Day of the Tentacle.
I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Like it's just like there's so many wacky. You go back in time to try and stop the tentacles that are trying to take over. Like you go back to like before George Washington was even the first quote unquote George Washington. Like you go back to, it's kind of like, it has like the sort of Forrest Gump approach to like history, where like you're involved in these big moments that happen. That Forrest Gump inserts himself into all these moments. That's what you do. Like you're at that moment where George Washington is making this decision about the future of the country, and like little things like it's so funny. They find a way to get that done. And if you've played anything that like Tim Schafer's been involved in, this is like early Tim Schafer stuff. So that's all you, if that piques your interest at all, go play this. You'll see where things start and see why all the stuff that they basically made after this feels kind of like this. Like
this is definitely something I would love to go through it and play again.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, I need to play this.
I love the tentacle animation.
YouTube, this is the remastered version, and the remastered looks really slick, like looks really great animation.
I love the tentacles, eye and mouth and nose are just the suction cup of the tentacles.
The features, those are the facial features. Yeah,
I love that. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's it says on How Long to Beat that it's roughly 6 to 8 hours, depending on what you're doing.
Wow.
Which isn't bad at all, right? It says main story. It's weird. The main story in remastered is 5 hours. The main story on the original is 6.5. I don't know. That's just how people have logged it, I guess, is kind of what it is. But I think if you are sort of not going by a guide or anything, it sounds like you could definitely get this done in less than 10 hours. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
And like the reason I like the LucasArts ones is where if I were to go back, and I have played some of the Sierra games recently, and it's all about the score and the points, and you can really screw yourself if you miss something in the early portions of those games. Like I remember Police Quest 4, I think it was, where if you don't adjust the sights in your gun at the right time in the story, when it comes to a critical point, like 10 hours later, you die, and that's it. And you basically need to roll back to an early save hours before. You don't really have that problem in Monkey Island and the other LucasArts games, and I'm assuming it's similar to this one, where it's more, again, about the story than the challenging gameplay, which I think I'd appreciate more. Like
the challenge is the little puzzles that you're in per room. That's the challenge,
right?
Is figuring out how do you get to the next point of the story. That's the puzzle. That's the challenge. That's it. Yeah.
God, I love this horse.
Yeah,
the character designs are really good.
Cat. I like the cat playing with the stupid mouse.
You have to get that mouse. That mouse gets you. You have to use that mouse. That's part of one of the puzzles. Is using that mouse later in the game. I remember that.
That's funny.
This is good.
That's right. That's a good pick. That's definitely the one we should have started with, Chart. So that's okay. I think I'm done on my picks. I know I've brought 2 solid picks to the table this week. Chart, you said you had an honorable mention you wanted to bring up?
Well, the whole thing that started this episode was this particular moment in gaming history as I was playing Dead Space Remake, and everybody knows that plays Dead Space Remake or understands Dead Space Remake. There's a whole scene of a tentacle that drags you across the ship for a good chunk of change. There's actually a really cool story on YouTube about how that defining moment in the game almost broke the game. I suggest everybody go and take a watch and listen to that. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Nice.
But there's a scene where the tentacle grabs you and it's dragging you across the floor, and it stops and pauses, and you have to use whatever gun you have on to aim for the glowing section of the tentacle and shoot it. But what makes that cool is the way that it is designed to do it, because you're looking at it from an angle of you lying down or in an awkward angle, and you're trying to move the mouse or controller, whatever you're using, to line up your laser shot with that thing, and it makes it it's challenging. And then of course every 5 seconds it drags you a little further, so you get thrown off to try and do it again, and it's a timed event. If you don't get it, it sucks you down a hole and kills you. So and there's a whole section of fighting a massive creature in a storage container that is full of mouths and tentacles and shit. So this is what Jake was watching me play that on my Twitch channel, and he was like, we should do a story about this stuff. And I laughed at him about it, because I was like, that's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. But then
who's laughing now?
Like our guest,
all of us collectively.
Day of the Tentacles in there. That's a good one. And then I was playing Dredge. I'm like, there's jellyfish, and then there's that huge octopus creature that's in there. That's some good shit. this could be good. This could actually be something where we don't talk about the same goddamn games that I gush about, the Elden Rings, the Dead Spaces, the Silent Hill 2 remakes.
Yeah.
So I tried very hard to actually dive into this one and find things that was more representative of the topic at hand, rather than being, you know what my favorite Tentacle game is? Fucking Elden Ring. Let's talk about Erdtree for another hour, because there's things in there with tentacles. But this was a nice challenge to think about something outside of the box that wasn't recent, as it were. So this was funny. This was funny. I have a tentacle fucking hand warmer.
Can't believe you have a tentacle arm.
Pretty good.
Of course you do. Yeah. The Dead Space remake is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. I love it.
Fantastic. We just finished it. So
I wish they'd do another one, man. I wish they were going to do 2 and 3, but they got canceled.
Sounds like they shut that shit down.
Yeah,
they did, and I heard that they shut down a 4th one too. That they were trying to present some
unreal. Like, just come on. Like,
it's sold well.
Stop
I
it,
thought. The first one anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it did.
There's enough to get 3 out of it and a remake. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But,
one little honorable mention for me is a very similar, because I played both these games pretty much back to back last year. I played Dead Space remake, and then just before that I played the RE4 remake.
Yeah.
And there's those. I don't know. I couldn't find the name of what they are. There's the guys where like their heads explode and then all these tentacles come out of it.
Yeah.
Those guys freak the shit. Like when that first happened, I was like, "What the?" Like, I find them to be insanely annoying to waste all your bullets on, essentially, because they takes way too long to take them down. But I think it's such a crazy creative way to have an enemy, and an unexpected one, especially when it first happens. And it's very creative, very cool, and I think it was implemented really well in the remake. And that and Dead Space, like both of those, if anyone hasn't played them or you haven't never finished the originals, just go play them. And then those enemies are just like small examples of why those games are awesome. So I wanted to throw that one in there too.
Yeah,
nice.
I only played I played 2 and 3, the original ones. I never played the remakes. I know I need to, because Capcom has been crushing it with their new engine, the RE engine. And it's like, I love what they're doing with Monster Hunter coming up. So I really should play the remakes. And I never did finish the first game, and I never played after the third one. And I always feel like I should have played it. I've seen Chard and both play through, I think 7 or 8, which is the one with the
I played 7.
Step on Me Mommy. Is that 8?
That's 8. That would be
8. That I have that next. The only thing about 8 is I'm not sold that I want to play an RE game in first person. I don't know.
It's worth it. 7 and 8 brought me back to the franchise. 7 and 8, like it lost me after 5. And 7 and 8 brought me back.
That's what happened with a lot of people, apparently. So
good. I can't wait for 9. If they keep doing the same kind of concept,
there's gonna be 9. I think. I bet you 9 gets announced this year, because I think 8 came out a couple of years now, and Capcom's been on a roll with these game releases. So I think
they have.
In February, and then we'll see one.
The remakes are so good. Like, they actually
remake of 5 and then the release of 9.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, Code Veronica is the one. Code Veronica is the other one I played on Dreamcast. I would love to see that one get a remake, because that's one I played. But I don't know what they would do. But I mean, if they remake 4, then why not Code Veronica?
Right.
All right, guys. Well, it's good to do a grab bag episode once in a while, right? Again, like you said, touch on other games that we may not have played through, and I'm glad somebody
bold move
brought retro games to the table, and it wasn't me or Chard. So, Dave, I appreciate you being on brand for us. Keeping us honest.
Retro inspired.
Yeah, but it doesn't count. You also
inspire me.
Terrifying.
You inspire me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Not like my family-friendly picks, honestly. Tentacle Party Nuns with ASMR DLC. It's great. Dave, how about you tell folks where they can find you and a little bit about your show? I don't know if we did that yet, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on social media, mostly just Blue Sky at this point, but Dave Petro is where you can find me personally. And Remember 64 is now back, as you mentioned, the first episode in 6 months. We are going through the entire Nintendo 64 library, whether we like it or not. The way I tend to put it is we play everything. That's the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, because there's lots of that. It is an awkward generation of consoles, and I kind of love it for that. And like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I think just as a kid, you play the stereotypical stuff that you think of when you think of the N64. So there's so much stuff that already only 50 games in, roughly 52-ish games in, different ones that we've played. I would say half of them I never played before. And that's great. And I love that. And so many of them are awesome. So I'm sad that it took this long for me to play them. So it's a great way to just sit down and talk about, random games and play something for the first time or revisit it. Sometimes you visit something and you go, oh yeah, I don't know about that. And we've run into that a handful of times.
Was it Mr. Mosquito? I'm looking forward to the Mr. Mosquito episode.
No, that was PlayStation. That was a PlayStation game.
Oh, was that PlayStation?
That was a PS2 game, Chard. That's the power of the PS2. We can't do that on the N64.
Come on. Oh, you can play Resident Evil 2 on the N64 apparently. So there's that.
Yeah.
And actually, surprisingly, it's not bad. It's surprisingly not bad.
I played Doom on the 64 too.
Doom 64
is actually, I played that. I guess that was roughly a year ago, maybe just under a year ago. As of we're sitting here, one of the best like sort of retro style Doom games that they made. It is really good. It's one of the better ones for sure. It's on Steam and stuff too. Like it's just really cool levels and stuff like that. Anyways, it's fun. It's great. It's just a way to sort of go through and play some random games, talk to people about it, and just shoot the shit about the N64. Why not? So Remember 64 is what it's called. And if you want to find a Patreon page, if you want to find it on social media, it's Remember 64 Show, all one word. And that's it.
Perfect.
That's me. I'll leave a link in our description once I remember to after we go off the air. You just remind me. I have to play Buck Bumble for the Wheel of Pain from last year. Still, I have to play 2 hours of that. But I think you've said it was good, dude. Which is not what I've heard.
I loved it. I thought it was so good. It's so good. I would say that first half hour to 45 minutes. Like, okay, I'm kind of getting used to the controls and sort of like the speed of it and what I thought it was great. It was one of those ones I never played. I knew of it and never played it. And I was pleasantly surprised. And in a couple days, I played through the whole thing. I thought it was great. It was awesome.
Maybe it won't be so painful as I think it will be, but I'll have to give that a go.
I don't think it will be.
All right. Awesome. Chard, how about you? Where can folks find you?
Find me here. You can find me on YouTube on my own channel, but you can mostly find me here with Press B to Cancel and the other crew members. You can find me a lot over at www.twitch.tv/Chardmonk, playing all kinds of stuff. I'm starting my Sisyphean game maybe tonight, if I can get my ass back up in here after the episode's done. And definitely going to be playing that tomorrow as well, and chipping away at some Wukong while I'm at it, and figuring out what to do with my life, I guess. I don't know. We can go on that little journey. So yeah, come and check me out over there. It's a lot of fun, and then always here with these guys on Friday. So
all right. And I'm Sick Jake, no K in Sick. I want anybody who's listening to us, if you're me right now, if you're interested in other Press B related content, follow me on YouTube, SICJAKE. I have something starting in February. I was going to start it this month, but work is kicking my ass, so I'm going to start it in February. I have a new thing I'm going to be doing weekly. I'll give more information once I release it. Otherwise, you can definitely find me here at Press B to Cancel. You can find our show on pressbtocancel.com or pressb.org, not pressb.com because we can't afford it. You can also find us mostly over at Blue Sky because I'm really kind of done with X and Instagram and Facebook. I love Blue Sky. Find us there or find us on YouTube. Or if you like to listen to your podcasts, which a lot of folks do and have been lately, thank you. You can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps. If there's a podcast app that you listen to and you don't see us there, you let me know. You come to our website and hit up our Discord and let me know, and I'll add you. Also, we are part of the Superpod network of podcasts. A lot of great podcasting that can be found there, including Dave's show, Remember 64. As well, I believe I'm doing a guest spot on a 3DO podcast with Thrack and Bill soon. I'm looking forward to doing that. Of course, Superpod Saga with Aaron and his buddies. That's always a good time. Just gosh, who else is on there? There's
You're coming back on my show, man. You're coming back on my show.
Yes, I do need an episode of you as well. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. There's a bunch of great shows I've been listening to. I have to make a list. I love the network. I love that we're part of it. We've been doing really well since we joined the Superpod network. So thank you to all the new listeners who've been checking out our show. It's been fantastic. Yep. But yeah, I'll definitely want to do Remember 64 as well. Now that you're back, I'm waiting for you to come back. I like your show. I listen to your show every week. So, all right. I guess that's it. That's the show. Thanks for everybody for listening, and talk to you next week.